Hello everyone, I'm Ryan from 2 Car Pros, and today we're going to be going over why your Toyota or Lexus might be stalling or idling high on startup. So this applies to all Toyotas and Lexuses that are drive-by cable, not drive-by-wire, because on drive-by-wire systems there is no idler air control valve. This is a drive-by cable situation, so if your pedal in your car is physically attached to your throttle housing via a braided cable, like a 2002 Toyota Highlander I was just working on, up here in the card is me cleaning the throttle housing. That's what this idler air control valve I'm going to show you in a minute is from, and I'll explain why it does this. So back when drive-by cable was the main means of getting your throttle housing your throttle plate to actuate, they had to have some sort of idler air control valve in order to have a strong idle. So they invented these valves, and they really seem to only have this problem on Toyota and Lexuses, and maybe Scions too. I'm not 100% on that, but I know Toyotas and Lexuses have this problem. This is what was happening on this Toyota Highlander, was the idler air control valve got so gunked up with coking and oil spit off and just general grossness. So if that valve can't actuate freely, either it stays closed and you stall on startup because there's not enough air getting put into the engine, or it sticks open and there's too much air going into the engine, so you have a high idle, which is also not good. So this is a video on how to fix that for basically free. Most of the time you can get away with just cleaning that valve instead of just buying a new one. This is a super helpful video, and you only really need a few tools, some carburetor spray, and some patience. With all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. On this side of the throttle body housing, this is actually your idler air control valve. And we're going to remove it and clean it best we can, because the new one is really expensive. Take that apart there, and you can see basically how it works. And we're going to clean all in there as well, because look what develops in there. Just a bunch of dirt. It's so dirty that you can't even really see that it is dirty, but it is. Trust me, it's gross. And we can check our gasket here to make sure that's in good shape, and it is. It actually should be on the other surface, not this one. And this gasket looks like it's in perfect shape, so that's not the problem. What is the problem is going to be, we can remove the actual motor part of the equation here. It's either going to be this. This is actually the motor, the electronic part that plugs into the car. Yeah, there's really no way to fix that one. Or what could be happening, and what most likely is happening, is this is getting all gunked up. Actually, I can feel that this is all gunked up. You see how that's all gross and terrible and awful? That can't be that way. That needs to be freely opening and closing, and all that gunk in there needs to be washed clean. So more carburetor spray and patience is required. And after some cleaning, you can see how much better that is. It's not perfect. If you want to buy a new idler air control valve, I understand, but this is a cheap and easy fix. But we can reinstall it on our throttle body housing here after we clean that. And sometimes you're only really going to get it as clean as it's going to let you. And I don't have enough small, clean implements to get in there and really give this thing the what for on cleanliness. I'm trying though. So you want to get really in there and get that as clean as possible. But I mean, at the same time, there's only so much you can do. And we can replace our gasket here. It really only goes on the one way, which is not that way, so it goes on this way, like that. And our gasket is very clean and very nice, and we've already cleaned the mating surfaces, but why not give them another wipe down. And then we can reinstall this housing here. It goes on like this. You always want to do it in a cross pattern here. And I want to point out that the two tapered at the end bolts, those actually go on the motor itself, so don't get those mixed up, because the threads do match and you can do it. So we install the valve body here. I'm going to tighten those up. I don't have a torque spec, don't ask. Just tight enough's fine, and just go in a cross pattern. Like that, make sure it's not falling off, which it's not, looks great, and then we can reinstall the motor itself. A regular plain Jane screwdriver for this part, because it doesn't need to be held on, oh my god, Hercules tight. Make sure we do this evenly, my forearm's not in the way. There we go, and now it's flush around all sides, it's much better. So that is how you service your idler air control valve for pretty much any Toyota that uses a drive-by cable system. It's really straightforward, just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, because a new one is right around 200 bucks, I think. It's in that neighborhood. It's kind of steep. So if you can get away with just cleaning it for basically free, why not do that? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, please remember to subscribe down below. All applicable links are down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.